Dear compatriots, our country can be as great as we want.
Let us all commit ourselves to its greatness.
We must be willing to set aside our differences, unite and stay as one.
In our expansive landmass, human and material resources, and plurality lies our strength.
Let our challenges lead us to rediscover our common ground, and together, let's find solutions.
This will take some time, so it requires patience, tolerance, and forgiveness from every one of us.
Let all hands come on deck to protect and transform our country.
Let us unite and see each other not as adversaries, but as brothers and sisters.
Together, we can build a better Nigeria for ourselves and for the next generations.
This message is brought to you by the National Orientation Agency, NOA, with support from Nigerian Television Authority, NTA.
Good morning. The Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines ritual killing as the sacrificial slaying of humans as a propitiatory offering to a deity. This has significant impacts on the family members of the victims, the community, and the country as a whole. In recent times, Nigeria has witnessed a significant increase in the incidence of ritual killings for wealth, power, protection, and the sudden desperation for wealth among citizens is worrisome, as we now see our youths and teenagers getting involved in these acts. Where did this mistaken change of value that sacrificing humans is the fastest route to wealth, safety, and protection, where did it come from? Welcome to NOA River State Dialogue. This is a program of the National Orientation Agency, River State, Nigeria. Our topic for discussion this morning is the menace of ritual killings. And I have guests in the studio to talk on this issue. To my left, immediate left, I have Mrs. Ivy ETOKAKPAN. She's of AFRIQUE Business News. You're welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, madam.
You're welcome. Glad to have you here.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
I have also Mr. MARCEL AZEKE. He's the Program Manager, Justice Development and Peace Commission of the Catholic Diocese of PORTHARCOURT. You're welcome, Mr. MARCEL.
Thank you, madam. I'm happy to be here, viewers.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for honoring our invitation again. Thank you so much. And I have here Comrade John OBIEHILE. It's a PRO, River State Ethnic Youth Leaders Forum. You're welcome.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, the viewers, on this wonderful program.
Yeah, thank you. Now, viewers, you can send in your comments, questions, and suggestions. Be part of this discussion this morning. We've had several stories of political killings, ritual killings, cult-related ritual killings, babies disappearing from hospitals, different stories. Stories that in the past were not aired. It was not an open thing to talk about. Now my first question is, how did you get to this point? I want to start with you, my dear, because how did you get here?
How did we get here? Well, I would say loss of our values.
Okay.
Yeah. Over time in Nigeria, we have lost our values. The things that made us unique people, the things that made us resilient people, the things that made us people to reckon with, that caused the Europeans that came at the time they came to say, oh, these are a people to conquer.
Yeah.
We have lost all of that. We have lost all of that value. And, the reason is not far-fetched. The quest for wealth, citizens' perception of wealth, how we, the place, the premium we place on aspects of life. I mean, today, if I come into your establishment, just as I've come into into NOA this morning, most likely, if it were not the administrator who met me at the gate, at your entrance, the first person that meets me as I come in will first of all size me up before they would make up their minds whether they want to respond to me positively or not. And this is a thing that has taken over our society deeply. When you go to the market, you went to the market to buy stuff, your money is in your purse. But the gari seller, the ogu seller, often at times she will size you up as well. So when you say, Madam, how much? She will say 10 naira, offhandishly. So it has eaten deep into us, this loss of value. And in my view, it's not right, of course, but it has greatly contributed to the menace, the rot where we have gotten to now, the premium we place on wealth in quotes. Because today Mark Zuckerberg can come here and he will come in jean and t-shirts. And we will all stand up and we will pay him due reverence. But if I come in here, or just some Nigerian guy comes in here who you do not know, you don't know his pedigree, comes in here with just jean and t-shirt, you will size him up. Therefore, to come, he will wear his senator. And some will go and put some beads on their hand because he wants you to, accord him the regard that is due him as a human, basically. We can go on and on, Ms. Holiday. It's deep. For me, the question, the challenge, and it starts with all of us here.
No one is left out.
No one is left out.
Little by little.
Because when you go to the bank today, you went to do a withdrawal or a deposit of your own money. But the bank teller, he or she will, give preference quickly to the person behind you who has a power look. When you go to the schools, it's the same thing. And your narrative talked about children. Children, they are the most observant group that we have in society. So they watch. So you come to pick your child in a power vehicle. Your children, their friends, they look at you. Then their other friend comes with keke, perhaps car broke down somewhere. They look at that child. When it's repeated, they form their impression. So as that child grows to a certain point, so then some children tell themselves that embarrassment my parents went through, I won't go through it. Yes.
And that's where it starts from.
Yes.
That's where it starts from.
So they therefore go all out to ensure that embarrassment their friends gave them because their parents didn't come looking powerful at the time, that it won't happen to them. And we cause in my view, because for me, I like to take responsibility. I oftentimes more like to say, oh, that caused it. That yes, there are other factors that cause certain things in our society, but sometimes we should look inwards.
Okay, I'd like to hear your take on that, Mr. Marcel.
She has spoken very well because the issue of value system is key. And maybe added to that, and that cut across whether our religious beliefs, our social beliefs, our cultural beliefs. Then we have this decadence, moral decadence, even amongst the youth. And this mindless and mindless quest for wealth has driven so many into this very wicked practice. And I call it the height of wickedness. Because that is what we call in the church the social teachings of the church. And we have about 10 principles. And the first of it is the issue of the dignity of the human person.
Exactly.
And that arises from the point of view that man was created in the image and likeness of God. So, and that trickles down to the issue of the fundamental human rights. And everybody has the right to life. Not even you. You don't own your life. You don't have the right to take your life. So, because of this mindless quest for wealth, because of the way, like my sister said, this perception If you don't have it, you are treated as nobody. Because of this bad influence among our youth, you can even see siblings struggling. Who will first be able to take their parents and use them for rituals, so that they will not be the one that will be able to say, yes, I'm the one that have arrived. We also have failure of government in terms of bad governance. Nobody is held accountable for whatever that is being done. We have the craze for power from our political elites. They go into that. And like she said, the issue, the value we have placed on human beings in Nigeria is even worse than when you are talking of a bottle of Coke. Where people killing because of 20,000. Just last week, somebody killed a friend in Ogun State for 70,000. They said the head will cost 70,000. Just about 5 days ago, a girl of 18 years in Borno State, adopted a child to be sold to a ritualist because he wants to ride SUV. He wants to be rich. He wants to belong to those that are also having that affluence. But luck ran out of that because he was not able to connect because of maybe network failure. He was not able to connect with the ritualist. He was not asking questions with a bid of getting another person, not knowing that person was not the one that is into that and was reported to the police. So, for me, it is even the major problem I have as a person because it brings about insecurity. Whether you're an adult, whether you're a child, nobody is safe. Yes, you can be taken at any time. And this is the height of man inhumanity to man.
Okay, comrade, you are a youth.
Yes.
Why was just talking? I just remembered some years back when I was in the field, I went into a school to sensitize, secondary school, sensitize students. We were talking to them about exam malpractice and all that. And I asked, what do you want to become in the future? And most of them said, I want to become a politician. I said, oh wow, why? The field, I said, why do you want to become a doctor? Why do you want, that is where the money is now. That is where the money is. And so you found out that gradually, that was years back, I never have thought that we will get to this distance. So as a youth, where did this come from?
Thank you so much. To be fast about that, the issue of ritual killing has been on, not they started. Actually, but it wasn't on this increase.
Yeah, what did we have then? For
yes. Yes, people were even killing for ritual, for maybe societal, all this occultic killing, cult-related killing. But it wasn't at this increase, But what I discovered that so far fueled or sparked this increase on this killing is as a result of poverty, hunger, frustration, government government policies and implementations. People tend to move towards the trend of survival because nobody, no human will ever want to allow his or herself die of hunger. Yes. So, and people tend to move towards, this is where it is happening. This is the area you can survive, because as the hunger continue to strike, poverty everywhere, people begin to ask questions for survival. Where can we get it? Where can we make it?
But to that extent of taking the life of another human?
Yes, because, even now, like I said, the level of killing, ritual killing has been on. It's not a new thing. No, it's not a new thing. Our politicians before now, they kill to get to the height of power. Yes, they kill. Yes, there are a lot of things they kill. They do a lot of sacrifice, human ritual, slaying of human to deities. Yes, it happens. So, but today, what we are talking about is that today it has become so obvious. It has become so significant because it is not happening. I cannot allow my child with my neighbor anymore. Yes, I can't. Because just last week or so, there were 2 cases of neighbor using, digging grave for his neighbor's child to be buried, to be used for a ritual. So because the thing is that the youths are restive. The youth are restive. There is so much restiveness. Our leaders are not doing anything. They are not concerned. And because of that, the youth are unemployed. So many have said that Nigerian youth are lazy. No. Because if you look at it, even when there is no employment for the youth, there is no also good environment created by the government, by leaders, to drive business, for businesses. As this today, probably I go to microfinance bank to loan money for a particular business. Maybe people have started the business. My dear, as I'm telling you, the environment we have created does not even enable business.
Yeah, that's from somewhere.
Yes. Okay. So if you look at it, that it is very, very bedeviling to see that our leaders are not concerned over this matter.
We have to leave everything, Madam. We have to leave everything for the government. I thank you for your response, but I tend to disagree in some aspects there, where we have to leave everything for the government to handle. That because I am poor, I will now want to kill my fellow human being for money. And the funny thing, looking at these youths, those ones that get themselves involved in these ritual killings, how do they really end up? Do they use it to help themselves, or they go to buy flashy cars, those powered cars that you talk about, build big houses, wear big jeans, carry women, spray money in parties, in clubhouses, and that is it. And it finishes, and they go for more. So how many people? I was reading something up this morning where so far I had a figure of like 10,000 plus missing persons that cannot be accounted for. These are human beings.
If I would just come to that, let me tell you first. Do you know that 2021 I was involved in the local government election? I ran for local government chairmanship in Emoha local government, under African Democratic Congress.
Okay.
And I came across a friend of mine who contested as a councillor in the ward under another political platform. And he told me vividly, he said whatever it takes him to win this election, he will do it, even if it takes to give half part of his body for councillorship.
Wow.
Yes. That is to tell you the height. That whatever it takes him. So if it takes him giving half part of his body to win the election, what if they tell him to bring another person's child, either his mother or another?
He will bring it.
He will offer it just like it will not even take him anything. So that is the height.
Okay. We've had stories of 15, 16, 17-year-olds.
Yes.
And that's what is trending now. 70. I watched a video of I don't know, they were speaking in Hausa of two children. It's as if they kidnapped a little child, or that child is like 1 year or maybe less than 1 year, trying the person. Yeah. I didn't really understand, but from comments, it was as if they kidnapped that little child, tied the child to one stick, and they were trying to describe how they were waiting for somebody
to come and buy.
These children, these two boys, I don't think they were up to 5 years. Or 7, let me just say 7 years old. Maybe they learned that.
These are kids.
Well, one thing is certain. What is right is right.
Yeah.
And what is not right is not right. Irrespective.
Yeah, of the situation.
We agree that the Nigerian government has failed her citizens in a lot of ways.
Okay.
What we are seeing today is not what we expect from the Nigerian government, in the sense that how old are we as a country? We are a country of very intelligent people, very resourceful people, very enterprising people. Providence has been benevolent to us in giving us natural resources, that we can trade with, fantastic topography, fantastic weather. We have a lot more working for us as a country, as a people. The remainder 10%, or let's say, or 30% that will just put things in sync. are our decision makers in this regard now. The politicians, you know, the people who hold the apparatus of government. But so far, they seem to have they have failed us. They have not been up to spec, up to par with our expectations of them. Being that we all have the same gene. We are Nigerians, we are resourceful, we are intelligent, we are smart, you know, everything is sort of in our favor. We go all around the world, we are quick learners. When you go to any country abroad and you see a Nigerian, he's doing well most of the time. Because we are an enterprising people. Therefore, you know, so the structure of government that will make things fall in line for all of us. Take for instance electricity. You know, if you give us electricity, the average Nigerian always say, we will not need any more thing from you. If you give us electricity, you are able to give us roads, this sort of thing, the things that make for further development. The Nigerian state has not given to Nigerians. Therefore, you see the youth in despair, his creative geniuses he has put it to work, or how does it power it? And how does the entire economic environment return profits to him or her and all of that. So we all agree that Nigeria in that regard has not lived up to our expectation of her. Nevertheless, like I said, what is bad is bad. What is not good cannot be good in any way. Therefore, the steps that the Nigerian youth take nowadays is a sorry step, because we all know that at the end of the day, it doesn't come to anything. We've seen examples. We've seen situations where a little boy just pops up. Suddenly he has plenty money. All of us are wondering, how did he get it? How did he get it? And in the spirit of however he got it, he flaunts it, he throws it away, he plays with it. Like you said, he goes back, whatever, I don't know where that place he goes to work that we don't know. He goes, we don't know it. That's it.
He goes to work.
We don't know it. So he goes, he comes back, he has the money. Even we were asking, but what does he do for a living? What does he do for a living? We hear rumors that he did a ritual. We hear rumors that he's a robber. We hear rumors that he's a kidnapper. And he does it. And we're all looking at him. And then one day, suddenly, he pops up. He's dead. He's either dead or he's acting not well. He's one thing is happening, and then he say, "Oh, we said it," and all of it. And the circle continues, and we ask them for how long. Whereas this is happening, I think both to tell the Nigerian youth that there are still amongst them young people like them who are digging it the difficult way. They say nothing good comes easy. There is no place in the world that anything good has come easy. Not even in the developed economies, you know, where everything seems to be in place. Still, to be able to dig the ground and bring good out, you will sweat. Some sweat will come out. Some sweat will come out. So I will not join the Nigerian youths in this their quest to say that because I must make it, I will go through any route. It's failing me, has failed me. I will go through any route. I will always let her know, the Nigerian youth,
that will help them to find solution to getting well than involving in ritual killing. I will also say that most times this government also, they are aware. I have an experience. Just 2 weeks ago, a member of my church came to give testimony in the church how he almost was killed by this ritualist. And when he was coming out, he met the police and told the police what happened. And the policeman said, "Oh, that place, just go and give thanks to your church. That place you are coming out from is where they do ritual killing." Meaning that the police is aware that ritual killing goes on there. The question still remains, why do they allow it to be there? Well, if we do our own part, God will help us to achieve it. Government also should do their own part. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you, sir, for your contributions. Over to you, Mrs. Esanjimi Richard Halliday, and thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Sophia Nanso from Oyibo Local Government Area NOA Office. Mr. Marcel,
yes.
What is the role of the church in this? You had the priest.
Reverend, yes.
Yeah, the reverend.
Yes. I started by talking about the Catholic social teachings. Okay. I talked about the dignity of the human person. Okay. And that everybody has right to life. And that you cannot even take your life, to talk of taking another person's life. The Bible is clear. Exodus 20:13 says, "Thou shalt not kill." Christ even heightened, raised the bar of that commandment when he said, "You were told of late, thou shalt not kill. But I tell you, whoever that is angry with his brother, okay, shall be liable to judgment." He raised the bar because it is maybe from anger, from envy, what the church teaches as capital sins, that we have these what I would call wide desires. Okay. You understand? Wide appetite to get rich. And that is why the church is consistent in preaching the issue of mutual respect, the issue of respect to even what God has created outside human beings. Okay. Because human life is sacred. Yeah. And nobody has the right to touch it. The church also believes, the Catholic Church, for instance, believes in what we call the pro-life. That even the child that is unborn has the right to live. Okay. And that is why they are strict about the issue of abortion. By the time, the egg is fertilized and all that, that fetus has the right to develop into a full-blown human being and live. So, but it's rather unfortunate because there is this loss of godliness and contentment. Where the country is growing churches, but the churches are not growing worldly. You will agree with me that most of our churches, or some of them, I call them prayer houses, because of this love of money, have deviated from the teaching. Some of our teaching is about the issue of prosperity. God, from the beginning of creation, has given man, the power to dominate. When he created the earth in Genesis chapter 1, verse 28 talks about you can dominate, you can occupy. He created everything before he created man. Yeah. That is to say, he has provided everything for man. Okay. But we have lost this godliness and we are no longer contented. The book of 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 6 says, "Godliness and contentment is great gain." Okay. Then verse 7 says that we did not come with anything to this world, and we are definitely not going to live with it. Then verse 10 says, the love of money is the root of all manners of evil. And that is what is driving us.
Yeah, the love for money.
The love for money. Okay. So every Dick, John, and Harry should collaborate to strengthen that effort of preaching love. Because if I actually love you, I will not take what belongs to you. Okay. To talk of even killing.
So taking your life, yeah.
Okay, so these are some of the values we are actually also losing. Morality. Even when the government took schools away from the churches, okay, from missionary churches and all that, it's also that is one of the entry points too. Why we are where we are today, because there was that loss of moral teaching that was enshrined deeply among those missionary schools.
See that these teachings are no longer there. These teachings are no longer there.
Well, there was a gap that was created when they took that action at the time. Okay? So we have said, let's begin to review this back. If we must teach about prosperity, it is through hard work. That is what the Bible prescribes. Not that you can just sit somewhere and get something done. So most, in fact, we went for a funeral in the diocese, and we were burying the Reverend Sister's father. The bishop said, shortcuts to wealth is shortcuts to death.
Yeah. Okay.
So he was now addressing the youth, please desist from this. The technology we have in terms of the social medias and whatever is for us to help ourselves, to live a better life, kind of. Technology is one of the reasons why we are also here. When we talk of Yahoo Plus, like Reverend Father George Eusani of Abuja Archdiocese said, He's afraid that now we are talking about children that no longer have that spirit and zeal for God. When he used to talk of juju, issue of doing juju, we are looking at elderly persons. But the Yahoo plus is what? Yahoo plus juju. That is what it means.
That's what it means.
That is what it means. You know, because these things are seen in issue of satanism, issue of occultism, and issue of vampirism, where people, because of their belief system, which is actually faulty, which is wrong, they want to get protection, they want to get the power by all means, they want to make money by all means. These are wrong teachings, these are wrong beliefs. And we should strive to see how we, together with God in that we are saying, to see how we lead this
Comrade,
by the right teaching.
We had the Reverend from the local government area, and we've had the stories also of some churches. That's why I want to ask the role of the religious organizations in this matter. Where we've had stories, maybe make up stories or reality of how some churches carry out ritual killings. We've heard the stories all over social media.
Thank you so much. You know, when I was talking here, I did not try to hide some listen. The thing, this issue of ritual killing cuts across every sector, even in the religious sector, even in the religious sector, in the political sector, and other areas. But the thing is that what I'm saying in essence is that we must trace the root cause. Because once we get the root cause of every matter, then we'll be able to solve the problem. The root of every matter, like I've earlier said, the root cause of this whole thing is poverty. There is high level of it. Now, if you look at the Bible, like he just said, the Bible said that he said, "The faithful shall abound in blessing, but he that makes haste to make wealth will never be innocent." Now, you discover that the society is running hastily. There's this flight move. You know, even our parents are contributors to this. Our parents. Yes, our parents. You know, myself, I grew up from a family where my mom sees you with a sweet. She will want to know where you got this sweet from. But today it's no longer so. Parents will want to compare even their children and what to other children outside. Say, look at Mr. James. Look at him. He's doing well, driving motor. What are you doing? Shame on you. And what will such child do? The Bible says, if we compare ourselves among ourselves, then we are not wise. There's no wisdom in comparison. So, but you see that today, parents are chasing their children into making haste. Even in school, you know, they want to push the children, they should do fast. Do you understand? Because we have found ourselves in such a flight age. Now, you see in Nigeria today, like I said, concerning even the school aspect of it, in Nigeria today, you see that there is a bad place. 30 years, you can't go for NYC. You know, 30 years, you cannot even get job in most organizations or companies in Nigeria. So because of that, everybody is running, you know, to make it fast. In religious cycle, pastors, so many young pastors that are coming up want to become, they want to be like Pa Deboye, they want to drive this in a private jet, they don't care to know how many years these people have put in so far before they grew up to this height or level. No, nobody cares. I saw a young guy who was telling me, discussing with me, he said, man, I really want to be like Senator Dilungaye. That man, you know, that is what, you know, through social media, you know, people displaying wealth, people displaying, you know, and people are moved, tend to be attracted. The Bible says, my son, he said, when sinners entice you, do not yield. There is high level of enticement of wealth.
So you think the social media also
is also contributing to it?
But even recently, you know, they have asked the National Film and Censors.
Yes.
You know,
not to deal.
One of the ritualists that was caught, when they asked him, you know Ogun State.
Yes.
When they asked him where he learned how to kill.
Yes.
He said he watched it in a video.
In a video. So what we are saying in essence is that we should trace the root cause of this whole thing. Pastors are, like we said earlier, pastors are burying, killing in young ones. We have heard cases. It's not forged. It's not fabricated. They are real stories. Okay. Pastors bury live children and even women and on their altars to gather crowd and to amass power. So these are the things I would say that sincerely, parents must be held accountable. Government must be held accountable. Yes, our schools, our religious centers. So we must go to the root cause of this whole thing. So once we uproot this tree from the root, then it will die off. It will die off.
Okay, let's take on this the parents aspect, the family values. You know, let's talk about that. What foundation are we giving our children now? Like you mentioned, you have said, you know, in those days when I know in Edo State, where you know the popular thing, ladies were, you know, we heard of people, families selling their property to send their daughters out of the country. You understand? So, what foundation are we giving our children? I know, you mentioned that there's there's a question here for you directly. You have seen it. Okay, you know. So, what foundation are we really giving to our children right now?
Let me start with addressing that question that person asked. Okay. He asked that product of the church. Was I an orphan? No, I wasn't an orphan. Was I an orphan? No, I wasn't an orphan. But life found me at a place in time when it is the church that picks me up. Okay. The church taught me wealth, but the church taught me hard work. Okay. And the church continues to do that. Please, let's take responsibilities for our actions and inactions and leave certain aspects of our life out of it. Okay. In my view, the church is telling us about prosperity, but the church is also telling us about righteousness. Why are we not hearing that? Okay. Why are we just hearing prosperity? We are hearing prosperity because that's what's magnified in our background. So when we go back home, because it's the issue of our family at that time. Okay. So we magnify it, in my view, and because we magnify it, we look for every means now to try to make it. That's why they will say today that some churches bury. I don't believe it anyway. I don't even believe it, because as a person who has been in a relationship with Christ, I don't like to go to areas I'm not knowledgeable about. Okay. Yes, you know, but I believe that the onus falls on the family. It starts from the family. Take for instance, a school. You have a school here, and parents are bringing their children to school. And there's a security man standing, and he says, if you want to drive this way. If you want to do this, drive this way. Because this is a road. Other road users will pass. But men and women, men do it, the women do it, will defy every instruction given to them and obstruct traffic so massively just to drop their children the way they like.
And their children are in the car.
Their children are in the car.
Watching what their parents are doing.
Not one child, sometimes 4 children of different ages are in the car. And you say you hold society responsible, or you hold parenting responsible. I hold parenting responsible. Just like somebody also said, oh, your friends are doing this, your friends are driving car, go and get me a car and all of that. I mean, no church didn't tell you that. It's your parents that told you. And then often at times you find that, to me or in my view, I can't even see myself doing ritual or my child doing ritual because they didn't see it around me. They don't know it. Doesn't mean their friends would influence them. Their friends can influence them to an extent. If it's a narrative that has been playing around my family, when their friends influence them, they will just joyfully fall in. Okay. But if it's not a narrative that has been playing around my family, when their friends influence them, they will go with them to a point. At 70%, they will come back home.
Their foundation, all the foundation they have, yeah.
They will come back home. So, can we take responsibility, parents? Even the way we judge one another, you know, things grow from precept to precept, you know, line to line and all of that. So yes, I will put the full responsibility back
The foundation, the parents. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's move it back, Mr. Marcel. Let's go to Opobo Nkoro local government area, where we have Mrs. Patricia Apiafi standing by.
Thank you so much, the presenter, Mrs. Isanjumi Holiday. I am Apiafi Patricia Ajari, reporting live from Opobo Nkoro LGA. Our topic today is the menace of ritual killings. And with me here is Mr. Robert Dapa. Mr. Robert, good day, sir. What can you say concerning the menace of ritual killings?
Thank you very much, Mrs. Patricia Apiafi. It's indeed a privilege to present the topic, the menace of ritual killings in Nigeria. First of all, I'll start by saying that it is a function of youth and people who don't want to work hard to make money, and in turn it hampers the developmental strides of this country. If we all want to make money without working hard, there's every possibility that many youths will not want to go to school. They will not want to engage in anything that will increase morality, things that will add value to this country. And once others see that their fellow youth are making it without working hard or working for the money they gain, they will also want to join. And in turn, it creates threatening situations whereby women will abuse their husbands. Some mothers will want to equate their children with others who are making it without suffering. My own part is that once we continue, if we don't look into this issue of quick money making, it will really cause great danger, and this country will be left behind. That is my own part of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Over to you, Mrs. Isanjumi Holiday.
Thank you, Mrs. Patricia Apiafi. You know, this man just said everything we've been talking about here. It goes back to the family. Were you going to say something?
Yes, I was going to say something. Well, it is, as a saying that if nothing is done at the family level, not much can be done out there. Okay, not much can be done out there. Because it is the family values that are instilled in children that goes below that he or she exhibits outside. Because we actually have a situation where parents support their children in so many things that are wrong. And we also have, in a deeper sense of it, there are what we call the dysfunctional family system. Where
absentee fathers also.
Absentee fathers, marriages that are having challenges. The woman will take to flight, the man will take to flights, maybe arising from the fact that they could not stay together, whether because of issues of finances and all that. And some of our values too affects the children. Okay. When you see, like in with due apology to some of our danger data persons and from the Riverine community, you discover that before a young girl is 19, he has 1 or 2 or 3 children. Okay. And no father that is there to actually father that child, so to speak. The same with the man. The man has 1, 2 or 3 too from another lady. And they are very proud to say, okay, madam, please meet my first daughter, and this is my second daughter from so. You understand? We call those dysfunctional family system. They some of them end up growing up with some of their grandparents who are aged and all that, and they are now at the mercy of the society. But primarily, when our parents refuse to instill the right discipline in their children, they are bound to be what they are. You said something. I am from Edo State. Okay, and it is actually sad that you see some parents sponsoring their children into prostitution. Now, I even hear that we have these Yahoo boys. They have association of mothers of Yahoo boys.
Wow,
I've heard that. It is something that is so sad to hear of. I'm scandalized when I hear that. Okay, so and there is this unhealthy competition. We went to school together. and maybe you got a job in a very good firm and you are doing well. Your parents can even tell you, can't you see your friend and all that, just like my sister said. So those family values that have been eroded is one of the major reasons. At times, unfortunately too, we may also have some parents that are actually trying their best, and that's because of, mothers now are out there also looking for this money to make ends meet. Parents, most cases now, don't really have time enough for their children. In some areas, you see, they will drop a child in school. In fact, I met one of my children's teachers. They were telling me that even on holidays, the parents were saying, okay, we can drop our children, they pay extra because they will come and pick them by 5. You understand? Why the teachers are not there or whatever, you don't know what happens.
That's at the mercy of the teachers.
Yes. So because of this issue of we want to make ends meet, the father is working, the mother is working, and they are not able to coordinate their activities properly. Children at times are left at the mercy of their friends. We don't have time to spend with our children to tell them of these moral values that should help them. And that is why at times some of them, when they now go into higher institution, they are influenced easily. So, and those are some of the issues, and we are saying parents should actually come back to do what they are supposed to do.
Okay, I'd like to take some comments. We have a lot here, and I know our time is running up. I have from Rosemary Abihat. She says, NOA River State, welcome. You all are wonderful partners in the studio, so welcome. I have from Mr. Senibo Abie. He says the main bane of our problems as it relates to Yahoo and ritual killings are bad parenting, misplacement of our value system, lack of rewards to hard work, worshipping of wealth. Thank you, Mr. Abie. From Peter Ikabie, he says there should be an aggressive and massive campaign against fake clerics, imams, herbalists, and native doctors, because we find that the native doctors, in those days growing up, we used to be afraid. We see juju priests and all that. But these days they're no longer there.
Witch
they're no longer there. We have hots. I say you don't see those hots anymore. They are now transformed. They have rebranded. Okay, it says we need to place an aggressive, massive campaign against fake clerics, imams, native doctors, and who are seen as enabling a society-wide get-rich-or-die trying culture. Is openly advertised. You want to get wealth, you want to become rich, you want political power. We see those banners around PORTHARCOURT, visit, call social number, and you see our youths, they say when found guilty, capital punishment is advised. More professional security agents should be recruited to checkmate and complement the larger civil society. More so, the activities of our religious houses should be closely monitored to see what transpires, there. From Chinwe Opara, he says, ritual killing is an antiquated traditional practice that is harmful to the society. It is against our values for life, patriotism, values for hard work and dignity of labor. Thank you, Mr. Chinwe. I think that question, you have answered it from Mr. Abie Senibo, directing, okay, let me just read it for the sake of our viewers out there. He says, this question is directed to the female discussant, talking about parents coming with posh cars and another parent coming with keke. Now the question is, in the 70s and the 80s, what did our parents come with to pick us from school? I think that question has been answered. I know a kind of a very close issue like that where, in one of the schools in PORTHARCOURT, where, you have these powered cars coming to park, and then these two girls, they are grown now, they are big, and then when they bring them in a Mitsubishi car, they will tell the driver, don't park in front of the school and park very far. And they prefer to trek
walk
down to that place where that car is parked, so that their friends will not see them entering into that type of car. So I think we need to do a lot as parents. You want to say something?
Yes, I have something to say just based on what you just read. Somebody was talking about rewarding good work. Now, you see that actually that's why my attention is really on the side of the government. If you look at rewarding good work, if you look at, for example, let us take a case study of Niger Delta Amnesty Program. late Yaradua of blessed memory initiated in 2009, you discover that Yaradua initiated this program. Yes, it's a good program, amnesty program for the Niger Delta armed struggle militants. And do you know that today, as I'm talking to you, those armed militants or repentant militants or agitators are being rewarded because they were bearing arms. Since after 2009 date, has the government come up with another program that will capture those youths that were not involved in this armed struggle? No, nothing was done. You see that there is a high reward to those youths who are towards this direction of bad influence and all that. Then you see somebody also talked about recruiting security agencies that will stand to checkmate with high level of integrity and all that. So do you think it's possible? No. Why? There is high level of poverty, and that is why you see that our security agencies must compromise at the places of their duty.
Okay.
Yes, even if you build a very long wall and in Nigeria because just maybe two entrances, one entrance and one exit, I tell you that we will definitely have problem because there must be a compromise at the places of duty. No matter who will recruit, because high level of poverty is there, people will compromise. Because when they give you, you don't have money, and they give you. If you are not very strong, you compromise, and that is what is happening today. Not that the security agencies do not or are not aware of most of this crime. I'm telling you that there are places where they even meet it, and they will compromise by collecting money. They will just say, I beg, collect, see money. And they will just, okay, I bring it quick. And, they will allow the culprit to go. You understand? So, but if we practice or try to, put up our hands together, build up strong institutions and all that, you see that, make up good policies and implement them, you see that it will reduce. We know that, like I have said earlier, ritual killing has been there. But it's not on this increase. But what has really sparked it is there's nothing than high level of poverty and hunger.
Okay. I know I'd like you to comment on that, but let me just take some points more. I have from Adus Glad. He says the federal government should declare a national emergency on ritual killings for the safety of its citizens. And I know the House of Representatives recently declared an emergency. On the federal government to declare an emergency, national emergency on this issue. I have from Nobong Ian said this just happens for lack of fear of God. Thank you. Charles Williams, so ritual killing and Yahoo are forms of criminality and dehumanization. The government at all levels and well-meaning citizens of our country should fight against it before they institutionalize it. Tedo Eko says hunger for quick money is a factor for ritual killings. Parents should sit up and live up to good parenting of our children. Give Sunday, please. There is no part of the body that can give money. We should not kill to get money. It is evil. It is so bad. Thanks anyway for your effort. Thank you, Gift Sunday. I have from Rosemary Abbey. I say whosoever that is caught in this ritual killing should also be killed, and his or her wealth and possessions be given to the state to take care of the less privileged and vulnerable poor in our society. There are so many, I don't think I can take all. I have from Charity Godchild. He says the phenomenon of ritual killing, which is in its current explosion, involves many young people casting all decency to the winds and engaging in gory acts of debauchery, murder, and villainy. It is sad. Yes, it is sad. It is sad. Ngozi Obike said we have lost our values. Our foundation needs to be addressed. Ifeoma Inachuku, family values plays a lot of role. Morals is first learned from home. That's what we're talking about. Family names should be valued above all. From Mr. Young Ayotamina, ritual killings is a value somersault. We need to begin to interrogate seriously the values that the basic institutions of socialization, such as the family, the school, faith-based organization, age grades are inculcating in their members. These institutions have 80% role to play in reducing the escalation of ritual killings. There's so much.
I just want to speak on two different points. They might not be related directly to what we're talking about. Because I work in the media.
Okay.
We tell the Niger Delta news, and every opportunity we have to correct a narrative, we like to take advantage of it.
Okay.
I want to first of all comment on Oga's the point he touched on concerning the Niger Delta, with due apologies like he had already taken. People have a way of life. They have their culture and their traditions. Yes, the white man has come and put some sort of semblance into the way we do stuff today, which part of it is you want to have children, take one woman, get married to her, have children and raise the children. Nevertheless, sir, that was not the culture of the Niger Delta people, especially the riverine communities prior to now. Yes, it's important that two persons, a man and a woman, stay together in an environment and raise a child. But a lot of women, strong Niger Delta women, have been known to raise great people.
Yeah. Okay.
Great people, and it continues till today. So please, when you come across the Niger Delta woman as you transverse the length and breadth of the Niger Delta, and you find her a girl, a woman, she perhaps has 3 children from 3 different men, do not put the further stigma on her, because we do not understand where she's coming from. Yeah, we don't know whether she's a traditionalist. We don't know whether Providence has, placed her in that environment, in that situation, and all of that. But I can tell you for free that that's not a judge for who will raise a great child.
Okay.
It's not a judge at all, please. And my young man, concerning the Niger Delta militants, I'm not a militant. They say they are agitators. It's important also that we give them their proper due. The amnesty program was given to those who were agitators at the time. And if you go through their history, they were agitating for a cause. Yes, along the line they took arms. Along the line, 1 or 2 may have abused their primary vision and mission, but it will not be doing them any justice for us to refer to them sort of like criminals, or not to do well. Because if you look at the history of the Niger Delta, and you do not understand that the presidency came to the Niger Delta to an extent from the agitation of that movement, then we have lost it. Okay. We should realize and accept and acknowledge that the Nigerian state has not been fair to the Niger Delta. Yeah. And so whatever these young men did, I do not support their methods, all of their methods, but whatever they did it for a cause. So please, going forward, let's accord them a little bit of respect. I just want to make that correction.
Okay.
Okay, we would like to I want to thank you very much for what you said. Not special apology. Actually, it was not actually meant to demean the people. Okay. What I'm trying to say is, when you have a father and a mother trying to raise the child, it's difficult now. Okay. Because how much less when you now have that kind of system? Just like she said, we don't know their stories, where they are coming from. Some of them may be as a result of abuse and all that. And true, it is even better. The church preaches that you give birth to your children. So those that do that are better than those that were about children. And we're not here to judge. Okay. You understand? So we actually applaud them and pray that they are able to sit up. It becomes a heavenly tax on a single father or a single mother. That's what we're trying to share. God helping us, we'll be able to come out.
Yeah. Okay. We'll be going right now to a TA local government area where we have Mrs. Irene Akehilem standing by.
No, it's okay. Mrs. Richard Holiday for having me in the program this morning. I am standing at a Kuku market, popularly known as Better Life Market in Olabo, Eche local government area. And standing with me here is Mr. Elvis Onyeso, the community chairman of Okarago Town. Our topic this morning is the menace of ritual healing. Mr. Elvis, you have heard what is going on and see what is going on in our country today, that our youth wants to make it by all means, not knowing the implication of what they are doing. You see the innocent blood that are flowing here and there what is your own contribution that can be done to reduce or eliminate this wicked acts in our society today?
Thank you for having me this morning. I think your question is very simple. The only thing that will reduce the menace in our society today is government and private sector to create employment for the youth. And also the parents who should know who is the friend of their children.
Thank you, Mr. Elvis, for your contribution. I think that parents have more job to do, more especially our women. Very early in the morning, everybody will wake up, the father will go out, the mother will go out without caring, taking care of their children, looking for money. Before you come back, you find out that those children you are looking for money for, they have become something else. So I think that more of the job should be done at home, in our various homes. Mothers should take good care of their children. And fathers too, you take good care of your children. Know whom your children's friends are. Know whom they are. Know your children. Know what they are doing. That is my own contribution. Thank you, Mrs. Isanjimi Richard Holiday.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mrs. Irene from Eche local government area. That was wonderful. You know, I know our time is up, so I'd like to start from you, comrade.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
To be fast about this, the Bible says, if the foundation be destroyed, what shall the righteous do? And he said, train up the child the way he should go, that when he grows, he will not depart from it. I would say that the parents should stand up to their responsibility to bring out up their children and their world. Secondly, that government should also step up in their responsibilities. And to the youths all over there, I will call on you, please, sheath your sword towards ritual killing and Yahoo. I have seen issues that just came up from Owerri, young guys going mad, running out of their cars and going running mad. No, it can never be well with us when we make haste. The Bible says, he that makes haste will make way to never be innocent. I will call on the youth to please come out from every form or out of ritual killings, and may God bless us in Jesus' name.
Thank you, comrade.
Thank you very much. The scripture says, righteousness exalts a nation. Sin is a reproach. And ritual killing is the height of what we call the height of sin. We call mortal sin, the one that kills your soul. So we are pleading to all that we should deviate from this. Let's imbibe the fear of God. Let's embrace godliness and contentment, so that following this, the community will be a better place for all of us. The government should also step up on their games. Our children are as far on strike. They're supposed to be in school. Okay? A lot of our leaders, the political leaders especially, their children are not in these schools. Majority of them, they are either abroad or in private schools. So, and they have just jettisoned this institution, and that's what goes on, because they too want something good for themselves. So the government should actually be responsive in issues like this, and God will help us.
Thank you, Mr. Marcel.
Well, I will be speaking to my fellow women. Say, ladies, girls, let's take up the plow and eat the road. At the end of the day, we make the children, and we feel the pain. The shame is upon us. The glory is our own. So I will just say, can we get up and do the right thing always? Don't finish morning devotion and then despise the next person you see. Your child, the morning devotion did not sink in. It is that despise, that attitude that you put up immediately. That's what the child catches.